Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs, my name's Glen Carlson. This is KPI Pro Tip episode 13. And this is a question from Kylie Fisher. Kylie has a conference coming up, an expo. She wants to send out 100 invites to key people to be able to bring them along. Her question is, should she pick up the phone and give them a one-to-one personal invitation? And the answer is always yes. When Dan and I first started our business, Triumphant Events, back when we were 20, 21, we were filling rooms, we were filling events, we would personally get on the phones and contact every single human being. We would sell them on the idea of coming to the event, then they'd come to the event, then we'd sell them on the idea of the next step, and so on and so on and so on. I've kind of find that with a lot of the social media-y world and email and digital, it's giving people an excuse to abdicate responsibility from that human connection for putting in the work to some automated tool. I do not believe in automated tools. Dan and I share a very similar philosophy on this. Technology should be used to do a lot of the heavy lifting, but it should not get in the way of you being able to have that human connection, and certainly not if 100 people showing up is a big deal for you. Like if that first event you're doing where you're trying to get 15 people in the room and you're not having a personal 15-20 minute conversation with every single person to make sure they're really stoked to get in that room, you're dreaming. I just feel like people aren't willing to really do the work often. And once you grow and once you scale, you can have other people doing the work, and you can be using technology and email and videos and your book and all these other assets you're going to develop to help with a lot of the heavy lifting. But in the early days, it's picking up the phone, it's the hustle, it's having those conversations, because if you can turn on that light bulb for someone, instead of them being the person that may not show up because they only got it from an email and it's not all that important to them at that point, if you can put it up their priority list, not only do they come along, but they might bring a friend or two. So instead of you having, maybe a drop-off, Kylie, of, you send out invites to 100 people, maybe 10 people of those register and maybe 5 show up if you're lucky. But maybe if you call 100 of them, you get 30 or 40 to show up. Now, consider the difference between 5 and 40 in your ability to have an impact in your business, in your ability to actually capture and do something with that value. So pick up the phone, and then once you expand, get other people to pick up the phone until you can reach a critical mass where your conversions from pure email and pure technology are allowing you to create the kind of growth that you're looking for. If you're not in fast growth, pick up the phones. Ladies and gentlemen, that's pro tip number 13. For any questions you've got, just put them in the questions. And I'd also love it if you're watching this by YouTube, subscribe. I'd love to have as many subscribers as I can. I got to get to 500. I'm only at 45 or something. I got to get to 500 before I can actually name my YouTube channel. We're going to have to work out a name. I'm going to crowdsource it. Whatever you guys want me to call it, that's what I'm going to call it. But I need to get to 500. That's another 450 subscribers. That's a lot. So if you could subscribe, that'd be great.